Now we're going to go ahead and do a practice request for a new appraisal through an AMC, which is also known as an appraisal management company. Now they go ahead and send over the appraisal request to an appraiser or another appraisal company, but they manage the appraisal. So they do a second review to make sure that the information is completed correctly and then provided to the lender. If you want to import the borrower's information and the property address, you can do that through this button where you would click on import Fannie Mae 3.2 or 3.4 file. And not everyone has this option, but most of them do. Over here on the date for the due date won't appear here yet until you go ahead and choose an appraisal form. This is one of the most important sections over here. So basically the two most important things you need to complete are with the type of form you need to request and the contact person for the appraisal. Who's going to be at the home and when will they be available to be able to open the door and show the appraiser the property so that they can go ahead and take their pictures and do their inspection. So over here on the right where it says appraisal form, you're going to go ahead and choose, most of the time on a conventional loan, you're going to choose the option that says FNMA 1004, which is Fannie Mae 1004. And when it's an FHA loan, it'll be an FNMA 1004, but it'll be through an FHA appraisal form. Now, some of the other options that appear down here will be specific to the type of property. For example, if it's a condo or the type of loan. So over here it says it's a multifamily jumbo loan. Other times it's a single family jumbo loan. So there's many different options. So the majority of the time you're going to choose. Now you're going to see over on the top it says due date. A due date now appears. And then you're going to choose the lender that's going to be on the report, the loan number. If there's a reference number, you can include that as well. The estimated closing date, the loan amount, the loan type, if it's a conventional, in this case, conventional corresponds to the type of appraisal being requested. The intended use, if it's going to be a primary residence, investment property, and then further down the address. When you get to the property information, you need to make sure you include the property address, and if this is a purchase, you need to upload the purchase contract and any addendum that will help the appraiser determine the best appraisal value for that property. Now, a little bit further down, it'll tell you exactly how much the cost is going to be based on the appraisal type that's being requested and the location, because each location will have a different cost or price. So once you enter the zip code, this will update as well, and it'll have a total job fee. Below the fee, you're going to have the inspection, contacts, and access information. Here, you're going to include the borrower's name and their contact information. You're going to also include the realtor's information. If you have the owner's information, you would include that as well. This will normally appear on the purchase contract. And if the selling agent or listing agent are the ones that will be contacted for the appraisal, then you will need to include their phone number and their email address. Who is the best person to contact? So over here, you're going to choose either the borrower, the co-borrower, the owner, or one of the realtors to be able to have the appraiser go and complete their appraisal report. And then if you want to include any comments or instructions for the appraiser, you can do that. And then you click on submit. Once you click on submit, the borrower will receive an email with the payment request, which they need to go ahead and make that payment so that the appraisal can be sent out for completion.